Yeah, so I'm sorry. This computer actually doesn't want to favor this live session. It's disturbing. It has gone off like 3 times. I was about to give up and I said, let me just try it one more time. If it disturbs, then we're going to postpone the live. So I'll get it fixed and then we can have a great session. Yeah, so we'll just try this one more time. Let's continue from where we stopped. I've been seeing messages. Some of you say you can't get into the live. This is the reason why I cannot get into the live because just all of a sudden I have issues with the computer. But let's keep trying. There's no harm in trying. I'll just move ahead. So if you're following along, we ended, yeah, color correction. We spoke about color correction and then we're talking about the 4 steps of color correction, which is exposure, contrast, white balance, and saturation. So um let's go ahead and try to see if we can simulate all these steps. So, exposure, obviously, you have to work with your scopes, which is the waveform. The waveform is a good uh, scope to work with when you're working with exposure. And like I said before, 0 point, if your wave is reaching at 0, it means you're losing details in the shadows. And if your wave is reaching at the top, yeah, around 1000, around 1023, it means you're losing details in the highlights. So you want your wave to stretch out, but without necessarily hitting both ends. Yeah, so under exposure, I'll just come over here and let me see under my color wheels. I'll just try to take off the mid tones and then the highlights too while bringing down the shadows a little. So basically, it's just balancing the exposure, ensuring that it looks good, not crushing out anything, and still bringing out the right exposure. And then the next thing is contrast, obviously. And yeah, I just like to play with this contrast. And most times I'll leave the pivot at 0.335. So that's like middle gray. So like your pivot is it's it's like in the middle. So you're not affecting the shadows or the highlights too much. You're just in the middle and you can use the contrast right now. So right here works. So this is before, after, before, after. For those of you who are just joining in, like, share, comment so others can join and let's do this. Yeah. So the next will be white balance. And for me, the way I like to work with my white balance is I always come here, right click, I go to gamma and then linear. Under linear, I'll click on it and then it actually converts this node to be more footage friendly. So any white balance that I do or any tool that I touch here right here will affect the image like it was done in camera, if that makes sense. So let's say under gain, I'm trying to remove some warmth tone because that's what I see right now. There's a lot of warm tones and I want to kind of balance it. So I just go the opposite of warm, which would be cool tones. So I just add some cool tones, and then you see before, after. One other tool I like to use when I'm doing my white balance is vector scope. And if you see before, where the vector scope is more towards the warm side because you can see this color wheel, right? This is the warm side of the color wheel, and then this is the cool side. So you see that? So I'm bringing the wave down towards the cooler side, just taking away some warmness and then bringing it down. So you can see before and after how it looks, right? Yeah. So for those of you who are just coming in, if you have questions, you can leave them in the comment section. I'll answer them right before we're done with this live. So hope everything is fine. Let me just check again. Okay, it's good. It's good. Yeah, so let's move ahead. So after white balance, I'll come to saturation. They will know the way I normally love to do my saturation is to do subtractive saturation. And subtractive saturation is a process where um, we are adding colors, but the colors doesn't feel like we're adding it. It feels like we're subtracting um, um, light from the colors. So the colors becomes pop but dense. That's subtractive saturation. It becomes popped, but then it's very filmic. That's the way films always, you know, have saturations on images, on their images. So that's the same thing we're going to try to um, replicate here. So under saturation, I'll right click and go over to color space, and then I'll change the color space to HSV. That's hue saturation value. So I'm going to remove the hue part, and then I'll remove the value part, and I'll leave just the saturation. So with this right now, with this node right now, any adjustment I do here will adjust just the saturation. So